We are rocking in the locker room, the film room actually, this week. And Coach Blitch, man, thanks for bringing us in here.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it. Good to have you guys.
It's always good how you guys have made this up for the kids and anybody who coming in here. All the way back to 1986, we get to look at our pictures.
Yeah, it's been awesome. We got a couple years we're missing, still 2005, and I think one of the late 2010s years. If somebody has a team photo for that, make sure to contact us, reach out. But yeah, we try to line the walls with it all the way to and keep that tradition, start dating them and maybe put them around the interior of the locker room as we keep going forward.
Well, it's part of that family atmosphere that you're building. Thursday nights at St. Benedict's, we want to give a shout out. We're doing this one a little bit early. We got some other obligations late in the week. Man, they've been great all year.
Yeah, it's been awesome. I really appreciate them. They've been hosting us week in, week out. The carnival and everything is over there. Boys had a good time, came. It's been good.
And
fun.
This week in particular, family, man, it's time for family to come together because we're hurting on all fronts, it seems. We had a tough game last week, but we've got another opportunity this week.
Yeah, not our best game there tonight. Kind of went in there a little banged up. Had a lot of guys go out in injuries. Again, something's going to kind of carry over this week to us. And then we just kind of bled out once we were out there. Had a tough time getting off the field in third and fourth down. A lot of disappointment there on our third down percentages. About 3 scoring drives could have been off the field. You know, bad bounces. You know, things didn't go our ways, whether it be the ball, the call, whatever it is. But we just couldn't get off the field in 3 of those big ones, so that was tough for us. Wish we had that back.
Well, it's pleasant to say, though, but that's the anomaly. You guys have been doing great all year long. I think you're the third-rated defense in 5A. Talk a little bit about, your defense and how proud you are about how the guys have been performing.
I'm extremely proud of the way they've been this year. I mean, coming in, it's where we were when we got here to where we're at now. It's been, a huge leap and a grind. A lot of it's those kids, what they've done for us. It's not every day you can kind of expect to go to battle with, 165-pound inside linebackers and stuff, and then be able to have success. But it's just a testament to the kids, the defensive coaching staff, the guys we have here, and what they've been doing with those guys, linebacker coaches and otherwise, and just them just bought in. I mean, that's the thing. The off season has been the biggest thing, and the change of mentality is what we're really proud of this year. But still unfinished business to go.
Well, and you've got a lot of young kids where bodies are still being shaped. We say 165 now. I mean, that anomaly, one of the best linebackers in the state, Ryan High, man, he has redefined what that meant.
Yeah. Now, I'm not say 165. He's probably closer to 175 or so and pushing 180. But, it just depends with the kids. Yeah, he's the heartbeat for us. So I hate to see with him being banged up the way he has been. It allowed Nolan Ward and Jaden Smith to come along this year and get their feet wet, get a lot more reps. They're going to be kind of the leaders going forward. But you can't replace a guy like that. And when he's not full-fledged or when he has to come off the field, that lingering stuff, it makes it difficult at times when he is the checks and audibles guy and all that. So. Yeah, he's been awesome.
Yeah, it makes it tough when you lose a quarterback like that on the defensive side. But again, all year long, another leader in the state, another senior, Day Shaw, with his interceptions, the way he roams back there, there's just not a lot better.
No, it's not. And I think, he excels at that, especially on the back end safety, sideline to sideline. I think what he can do, personally, obviously I'm a little biased being a defensive guy. I think he's awesome on offense, and he's a top flight running back and receiver. I just think, man, there's very few guys that I've seen this year and in the last couple of years that can go sideline to sideline the way he does in coverage on the back in the one high back there. So it's impressive. It really is. And he's been an awesome player for us back there, turning the ball over.
Well, I like what you say about him. When he comes, he wants to make the play. And when he stops somebody, he likes to hit.
Yeah, he's not afraid to lighten them up a little bit. He likes to come down here and lay the wood, so it's been good for us.
Well, you've had a bunch of underclassmen come up that you didn't anticipate. Talk a little bit about that and how they performed the other night, because we've seen a lot of depth on this defense that we didn't know existed when the year started.
Yeah, Keaton showed he's been, again, a mainstay for us this year. Not having Logan, losing him early in that first quarter, just spelling that was tough for us. We had to lean on those guys. We had 3D linemen, and they had to roll the whole time for us out there. And Choate, being a young guy, did a good job out there. And then Mario Joyner. Mario really, stood out. I think he had like 12 tackles, 4 TFLs, and a sack. He played hard for us, man. He was a good senior leader for us the other night, and a tough game, a tough outcome.
Yeah, he came in, and you could tell, the players knew it was going to be a tough game, and DeMario was quiet, and he went out there and he really performed. He's another leader in the state. I think he is the 5A leader in sacks.
Yeah, he was. With double check, see what everybody updates their numbers this past week. But as they filter in, he was up there number 1 last week. Had another one this past Friday night. So it's that's good for him. Good individual award. Doing solid as a team in sacks. Again, we wish we can get that game play a little better. So that's going to be something going forward to McAlester that we can hopefully carry over with that pressure he generates.
Well, that's a perfect prelude, Coach, going forward to McAlester. We're going to take a break, and then we're going to introduce you to MVP of our game against BK.
Yeah.
I was going to say the wrong thing. Can't cut it. When we come back, meet the MVP, and then we're going to talk about McAlester and how we attack that McAlester offense. You're watching Blitzin with Blitch from the football film room today on ShawneeCTV.
Gordon Cooper Technology Center has trade classes for all ages. These programs are not just for our high school students, they are for all ages, and you have the opportunity to get further educated within our community and pick up a trade skill today at Gordon Cooper Technology Center.
Experience the wholesome goodness of St. Gregory's Abbey. Our monks raise healthy, pasture-raised beef free from antibiotics and hormones. Available in the Monks Marketplace inside the front monastery doors every Tuesday through Saturday.
A&S Roofing. Quality roofing built to last. Dedicated to high-quality work, pays attention to the details. So get started on your roofing project today with A&S Commercial and Residential Roofing and Contracting. Air Force One Heat and Air Conditioning offers competitive pricing, licensed technicians, and over 25 years of experience. Air Force One is a hometown company. Contact Tim or Terry Muirhead with Air Force One. At McAlester and Owens Funeral Group, your loved one never leaves our care. From your first phone call at the time of loss through final resting, we are with you. Stop by McAlester and Owens for a visit today. We are back, and we are proud to introduce to you the MVP for the Bishop Kelly game. Coach Jason Madonna, head coach, always picking, always looking, and this week's best. Coach, tell us about this young man.
Well, first we have DeMario Joyner here, 3-year starter for us here at Shawnee, and big-time anchor for us on the defensive line, kind of a guy that we can always rely on to give his best week in and week out, game day wise, and a guy that's really hard to block. He's got a high motor, and so versus Bishop Kelly had 12 tackles, 4 tackles for a loss and a sack, and so as far as production goes, he was one of our most productive players defensively, and so we felt like he deserved the honor to be the MVP this week.
Yes, DeMario, great game. And you're averaging, you missed a game and you have over 10 sacks. So in 8 games, you have 10 plus sacks. What do you feel makes you so good at getting back there to the quarterback, my man?
Honestly, me, it's just like my defense coach says, you got to get off the ball. The quicker you get off the ball, it's better for you. If you try to be lazy and just be slow, it's going to push you back.
Yes. So you had a good junior year, but your senior year is really one that, Coach, would be classified as a great year for a young man with the stats that you're providing week in and week out.
Absolutely. He's leading 5A in sacks right there at the top, and he's played multiple positions, inside, outside, defense tackle, defensive end. He used to be a lot bigger in stature before we got here, and then he lost a bunch of weight, and so now he's a little bit faster off the ball. But the thing about Mario is you very rarely ever hear him talk, so this interview might be the most words he's said in 2 years. But he just plays hard, man. He just shows up, and he kind of, attacks it, offensive lines with a ferocity or ferociousness that we look for, and so got a lot of moves. Loves to chop and rip, and really hard for high school kids to block. And so he's been a real blessing for us, and we're lucky to have him. We're lucky he's ours.
Yeah, I love the spirit about you, DeMario. It just feels good to look you in the eye and to talk to you. I didn't know that. You've always been pretty talkative. You have to have had people in your life that have influenced you to be able to advance like you have right now. Talk a little bit about some of those influencers that are so important to you in your life.
I'll probably say my number one pusher is my grandma. She don't never she always on me. Like, she probably takes my phone right now and asking where I'm at, making sure I'm at practice, making sure I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. It's my grandma.
Yeah.
Then I'll probably have to say my mama after that. And my number two pushers.
I got you. And you know, doesn't that feel good to have that support and to have that accountability coming from somebody who you know has an undying love for you?
Yeah, most definitely it does. Feel good.
And you don't want to upset Granny. Nobody wants to upset Granny. That's for sure.
That's for sure. Coach, I'm sure that you've had a question that you've wanted to ask Mario for a while. Well, let's hear it. What would you ask Mario?
Yeah. I want to know, Mario, what's the best piece of advice you can give those young wolves watching that one day want to be like you?
One day, best thing I can give you, show up to practice. Keep showing up to practice. It's going to get hard. Going to want to quit. But you got to keep showing up and just keep going through it. I promise you. In the end, it's going to be good. Just keep showing up.
Man, that's great life lesson right there. Consistency is key. Coach, you know that. You guys learning consistency through your high school career and into your college career. How does that impact young people being consistent?
I think it's a huge lesson, you know, especially coming out of the pandemic when the world got flipped upside its head. I think that's one of the keys that a lot of young people forget about. You know, sometimes you just got to show up, whether you got your best day or not. You just got to be there and give the best that you have and uplift others and put positivity in the world and let that reciprocate back into you. And I feel like this program is a tribute to that. You know, these young men they've had so many adversity that they face and so many distractions with the tornado, with everything that's gone on. And this core group of seniors just kept showing up. They just kept showing up, kept lifting weights, kept running, kept studying, kept practicing. And now we're not experiencing, you know, top of the world success, but for us, you know, we're progressing as a program into the right direction. And it has a huge part to do with these young men, this senior class, and Mario being one of them.
Yes, for sure. A special senior class. And DeMario, talk a little bit about that. You've kind of grown up with these guys, all these seniors. What's the difference now than perhaps when we were struggling through the 0-13 season and, you know, last year we were starting to get our feet underneath you? What are some of the differences that you notice now within the locker room and amongst your core leader group within your age of seniors?
I would probably have to say the maturity. Most of them back then, they used to just play around. We used to all just play around a lot. I don't think we just took it as serious as in, like, we wanted to win. But now, I just see that the maturity has got better. That's probably the main thing that I've noticed.
That's wonderful. Now I want you to dream a little bit for us, DeMario. You know, I asked you when you came in what your future plans are. I want you to, no holds bar. What would you like to see for your future? Now that you're a senior, you're kind of stepping out into the world. What would you like to do next?
I'm hoping I get to play football next and go to college and keep playing football. That's my number one goal. I'm hoping that. And then I want to be, I don't know the name of it, something to do with the law, something like that, but something close to that too.
So you want to further your education and go on and play football, and then you want to have a profession. We just can't think of what the name of it is right now, right? Well, I love that. Okay, so if you could play football anywhere, where would you play football? Where would the next level be you playing football? Anywhere you want.
OU. Definitely OU.
I like that. Yeah. Get out there. What do you think about that, Coach? One of your seniors.
Hey, that'd be amazing. As long as he kicked us back those tickets, you know what I mean, wherever he ends up, you know, and some gear. That's all we ask for. No, the sky's the limit for Mario. You know, he's gonna be able to attain his dreams if he wants to, and we got a lot of work to do still. It's not a finished product, but he's definitely got the talent and the ability. We just got to find the right home for him that's a mutual fit that he can grow and learn in, and you know, when he talks about maturity, he's a key example of it. You know, from what they tell me he used to be like when he was little compared to the young man we see here today. A lot of growth has happened, and that's all you can ask for these guys as they continue to grow, mature, and they become productive men in society one day. And I got a strong feeling that he's going to be one of those guys.
Well, and DeMario, a big reason why this team has flipped it, and they have got the tradition rolling again for Shawnee Wolves football. DeMario Joyner, MVP of the Bishop Kelly game, and he will be recipient of another meat pack from Hardesty's Meat and Deli. Thank you to BB Woodworks for sponsoring the MVP of each and every game. DeMario Joyner, thanks, man, for the efforts you're putting through.
Thank you.
Good job, Coach.
Go Wolves.
It's Sonic Good at all 4 of our Shawnee locations. Great food, great fun, the best hamburgers in town. Keeps everybody smiling. Parties or gatherings, there's room for everyone. It's always a good time, Sonic good time, at our Shawnee Sonics. Do you want an easy car buying experience? Castor Keys on Harrison. No hidden fees, no price gimmicks. Castor Key Auto Mart for a fair and convenient car buying experience. Hardesty Market in Delaware, a real butcher shop for over 80 years. Daily lunch specials just like Mom used to make. Best cuts of meat and even better people. Your family at Hardesty Market in Deli. For 25 years, Eric's has served you and your family for all your prescription needs. Eric and his staff love the community and love seeing you in the store, conveniently located on North Kickapoo. Make your day brighter by visiting Eric's today.
For over 50 years, Fred's Tire and Battery has served Central Oklahoma with tires, batteries, and service for cars, trucks, and tractors. Friendly and affordable, with 2 locations in Shawnee. Fred's Tire and Battery, a name you can trust.
So what a guy, DeMario Joyner. He's been big all year long.
Yep, he's been huge for us. He's had a big breakout season this year. I mean, he had a couple, like 2-3 sacks last year, but he's pushing 10 sacks right now, double digits. So anytime you get that kind of production, off a guy is just huge. And that's with, he was 1 game shy. He had a game where he was out for this season as well. So he's been awesome, averaging about a sack a game.
Gotta love it, gotta love it. And moving forward to McAlester, we're gonna need everybody. All hands on deck. Talk to us a little bit about McAlester.
Good football team. Good football team. Their only district loss right now is to Booker T. Washington. It was a tough game they played up there. Ended up Booker T. really pulled it out in the final minutes. Their offense and defense are both pretty stout. Actually, in that game, Booker T. I think won 13-7, and Booker T's only offensive score came in the final 2 minutes. They intercepted the ball and ran a pick back for a touchdown. And that's what kind of gave them that cushion, which ended up being the ceiling play. Number 5 ran it back. So, offensively and defensively, they're a good football team. Quarterback's going to be tough back there. They got him, a couple guys they use, number 8, number 2, a little wildcat quarterback. They'll run the ball, some heavy fronts, a lot of 2x2, 3x1, trips action. They'll throw the ball around, lots of screens, which, as we know last week, we got to do a better job at this week on screens because we really struggled in that aspect last week, not recognizing them and diagnosing that and making a play on that and missed tackles. So we got to shore that up this week, doing a lot of extra screen drills for us defensively, and just making sure we can generate some pressure on them. They got good running back, run hard, lots of power GT stuff they're going to come out with us at, and some heavy fronts. So try to get as healthy as we can this week and be ready to play.
So it's real big, and I know you play it big on the sense of getting off the field on 3rd down. And we've been one of the best in the state all year long at that, and in 4th down. Anybody trying to go on 4th down, they think better of it now. Yeah. You have to be proud of your guys about that.
Yeah, we've done a really good job this year. 3rd down percentage is actually one of the lowest we've had, really in the last 10 years for me in my career, even, mirroring some of those, Booker T teams we went to the state championship and won with. But we did not do a good job there tonight. Discipline's been the biggest thing for us, a lot of stuff, just as far as, reading our keys, not letting the moment get the pressure on us. We've seen this year, we've been on the road. Sometimes we get a little distracted out there. We played much better at home, so I'm hoping that home atmosphere in that environment with, the support, and we'll talk about trying to get these people out here in a minute, but having that's been big for us. I've noticed anytime, and Coach McDonough talked about a couple weeks ago when he was on here with us, just where we're at as a program, taking these steps towards what we want to be. Locking in the postseason has been huge for us. So that's great now. That's something we want to do. The next step is to try to do that, be a perennial playoff team year in, year out. In order to do that, you got to have those good road wins. We got one, Coweta, Edison. Granted, both those teams are a little down right now, if we're being honest about it. This expectation is to win those games. So we think we're that one step ahead of kind of where they want to be next year is where we're at this year. So the biggest thing for us now is let's take care of business at home if we can, close this out, and then going forward, because we're going to, depending on how things shake out, possibly have a road playoff game off the bat or in the second round, depending on where it shakes out. So the biggest thing for us is trying to get that next step, win a big road game. Like in a hostile environment, not get distracted, not let the outside forces kind of, interfere with what we're doing in our focus, pregame, postgame, during the game, things like that. So,
well, and that comes with maturity, I would think. And you had mentioned last week that nobody on this team has actually tasted the playoffs yet, and a lot of players, underclassmen this year, getting that taste. How important is that, and what underclassmen are going to need to shine this Friday night at Jim Thorpe Stadium for us to come out with a victory?
It's a huge thing. It's so important. And like you said, we've only had a few games this year, and for us this year, but for them, their entire career, that have had meaningful impact on it. We knew Booker T, where we felt we were as a team going into it, and the boys kind of knew as well that was going to be a pivotal game for us, because that Booker T game could define possibly a playoff spot later down the road, or if you get in or not, whether it be a 4 seed, 3, and so on. So we knew that one going in. Had some other big moments, East Central games of like that nature, where we feel like we should be the better team, come in, take care of business. And then you saw the Bishop Kelly road game was another one. And now this McAlester home game, where we know going into it, major playoff implications. So we didn't know, as far as like East Central, some of the teams played them so early, where would they shake out? Historically, their record is about the same as ours was last year. So we didn't know, like, hey, we know this team's going to make the playoffs. We have to beat them. But going into it, we knew of those teams, Booker T, McAlester, Bishop Kelly, and then we thought either Coweta or Durant would be teams that, like, hey, they're perennial playoff teams typically. They made it last year. We've got to get those wins. That we've got to supplant them in that playoff pecking order. So those games were huge for us. The Coweta game on the road, we kind of knew where they're at. We heard they're a little down this year, saw them in the offseason. We played a pretty good game. We ended up getting the win. Wasn't the finish we wanted. We're up 20-0 at halftime. Ran a kickback right before half. And then, we didn't score points offensively. We didn't get very many stops that we wanted to defensively. Let it be a 20-14 ball game. Now, those 15 district points we didn't get are pivotal now, because now that plays into where we're at, is where if we can beat McAlester, Durant upsets Coweta, we can get a 2 seed or a 4. We can no longer get that 3 seed, which would have been a nice little sweet spot in between. We can't get that, hey, we're going to fall just a 3. It's all or nothing, 2 or 4 now. So that was tough. Now, as far as experience for those guys, the young guys we're going to lean on, guys who have been there in those couple games with that Coweta and those. We're going to have, hopefully, if Logan's back healthy, that'd be great. Keaton Choate would be a young guy out there. Ramel Slaughter Bay, Garrett McCurdy. Those are guys that we're going to be here. Jaden Hunt. Jaden Smith, we'll have to see if he'll be available or not. But those are guys that are going to be huge for us as far as getting that experience. They got a little bit of it earlier in the year, so now we're hoping that we can come in and get that big-time moment, big-time win, try to see if we can see what the odds happen with that other game. That's thanks. Even if we do win this, no guarantee we're the 2. But you'd like to do that and go out and win that game, go 7-3 to finish the season. That'd be a great little spot for us.
That would flip our record, and it would be a great spot for us. And it's an opportunity for all of us in the community to come out and support our Wolves. Coach, invite them out, man.
Yeah, come on out. Like I said, this is an opportunity for us, not only for this season, but all of our coaching staff and the boys who've been here with us, be undefeated at home. So we want to come out, finish this season 5-0 at home, be huge for us. As far as coaching staff, we haven't lost here at home, so that's something we're taking pride in right now. Is we want to cap this off with the victory of this homestand. Told these boys, let's go undefeated at home. We'll have to check. I don't know if you know. I don't know the last time they did that. So that's something we're looking at as far as a 5-0 home record. Get that atmosphere, and that's really because of the fans that come and support the kids. They play different at home. They have that energy. They have that support and that love, and they feel it and they feed off it. So come on out.
We need you out. The kids need you out there. We want to fill up Jim Thorpe Stadium going into the playoffs. We're pretty much a lock now. We're either going to be 4 or we're going to be 2 going into the playoffs. So it's possible with a good turnout that we get a bonus game at home, and that would be wonderful. So Friday night against the McAlester Buffaloes, we need support, and we invite you out to join us. Hit the VIP tent, maybe, slide some sponsor dollars to whoever, I don't know. But great concessions, and it's a great family atmosphere. This Friday night, 7 p.m. kickoff, come out early, 6:30, get yourself a seat. It's all general admission. Get you something to eat. Let the kids have a great time. I didn't hear that.
Senior night, yeah. Come on out.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Say it.
Yeah, come on out to senior night. It's going to be senior night. Should have mentioned that. I forgot. That's me. I forgot that.
No, me too.
Yeah, coming out, support the guys. Like I said, some of them could be their last football game here at Jim Thorpe. You just don't know. So coming out to support them, show them that love and appreciation for all the 4 years they put in, dedication they've had to this program.
Definitely. Because Shawnee, all of us together, we build community one season at a time. Thanks, Coach Mike Blitch.
Thank you.
We're blitzing with Blitch.